All right, it looks like we're live. Hello, everyone. My name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic, and welcome to my watch-along commentary track for the very first Pirates of the Caribbean: The Curse of the Black Pearl. Now, I thought I would do this one because, number one, I was supposed to be in Disneyland a couple days ago, and I want to try to, kind of live my experience as much as I can. And so much so that I'm wearing my own Mickey Mouse t-shirt, which I got in Disney World, Orlando, Florida. And number two, this is my favorite movie of all time. My number one. So I thought this would be kind of a fun experience, to watch it with you guys, and, people can ask me questions. And of course, if you guys are watching on the replay, I have the timer here so you guys can sync it up at the same time. But if you guys are watching live, then I'll be looking into the chat, answering your questions, comments, concerns. And I thought, let's just watch a fun movie, right? This is my favorite movie of all time, right? So anyways, guys, I'm seeing some of you guys come into the chat, but I'll give you guys a couple more minutes just to get your copies of Pirates of the Caribbean ready. It is on Disney Plus, so if you guys have Disney Plus, you can find it there. I'm not too sure about any other streaming platforms. That's where I'm going to be watching it, on Disney Plus. So let's hope that, my Wi-Fi, goes through. But you know what? There hasn't been a problem so far with these watch-alongs. And I got to say thank you to everyone who showed up to my last watch-along for Jurassic Park. And if you guys are watching live, then the next one will be on Sunday for The Matrix, and I think that was going to be a lot of fun too. So, how's everyone doing tonight? I have myself, again, I didn't drink any alcohol for the last one, but I figured this is Pirates of the Caribbean. You gotta drink some rum. So, cheers to everyone who's in live, and cheers to everyone at home. Okay. Well, I think I'm ready to go because, it's funny, I actually just watched this movie again a couple nights ago. I just got new couches in my other room, and I'm like, you know what, with the new couches, what's the movie I gotta watch? Well, Pirates of the Caribbean. So this is actually my second time this week watching it. So I watched it one for myself, and then one for you guys. So, if you guys are ready, I think we'll start this thing. So, get your timers ready, and we'll start it in 3, 2, 1, go. And Gavin, dude, right off the bat with the super chat. Thanks, buddy. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, I guess I'll let you guys know that the super chat is there if you guys want to put in some donations, which, don't worry, I'll be putting all the donations back into the channel, but you don't have to do that, right? But Gavin, thank you so much, man. You are the man. So here we have our introduction to a lot of things, right? They introduce a lot of things right off the bat. So we introduce Elizabeth Swann. And of course we have the song from the ride. And we introduce Mr. Gibbs. And James Norrington. Consider them marked. I always love that line. And look at that. Elizabeth Swann yearns for adventure. So much so that her father is dressed like Captain Hook for some reason. Short drop and a sudden stop. We introduce that Norrington does not like pirates, and of course, pirates get hanged in this movie, in this world. So everyone at home, what are you guys drinking and what are you guys snacking on? I'm actually snacking on watermelons, the sour watermelons. So good. I started at 6, dude. That's why the timer's there. So hopefully you can catch up. We haven't gotten too far in the movie yet, so I think you're in a good spot. And we introduce Will Turner. And also, I'm going to be talking about the score, Hans Zimmer's score, many, many times in this movie, because it is just It is probably my favorite film score ever, next to Star Wars. And here we go. We introduce the power of the mysterious pirates. That pan flute in the score is a wonderful. You know what? I remember this was the very first movie that I think I really started to. When you're watching movies as a kid, you're watching the Disney films, like the Disney animated movies, you're watching Teletubbies, Thomas the Tank Engine. I think this was the very first. Well, you know what? No, that's not true. I watched Spider-Man in theaters, and that was like pretty eye-opening. But then when I watched this, that's when my world just totally, like, the blinders were off, right? Seeing something this epic, of course. But even still, looking at it now from a screenwriting standpoint, and here we go, we introduce the Pirate Medallion. And just looking at it from like a screenwriting standpoint, from a directing standpoint, from a story standpoint, acting standpoint, production design standpoint, I think this movie is just so well made and so much fun, right? The MacGuffin introduced, we have the Pirate Medallion, and of course we see the evil Black Pearl. And of course, cut to Keira Knightley, who was relatively unknown when she started to do this, when she was in this movie, because I think it was the year prior she was in Bend It Like Beckham. If you guys have not seen that, that's an amazing movie. Another great shot too. Boom, you see the Pirate Medallion. Do I like Dead Men Tell No Tales? I don't like Dead Men Tell No Tales. There was one moment in that movie where I'm like, wow, they got it back, right? It's pirates, and it's the scene with the guillotine. And after that, I was just done. Like, that franchise is completely out of gas. She yearns for adventure, but society has certain holds on her, which we see in this scene here. The screenplay is just so well executed. What's going on, Finn Flash? Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is a good scene too. You see society, constricting her. And this is such a great introduction to Will Turner. So embarrassingly loud. He's like, oh, shit. Oh, yeah, screw it. Immediately likable. Immediately. If Pirates of the Caribbean 6 comes, which I don't think is a good idea, but if it comes, yeah, this is a great scene too. It shows how skilled Will Turner is with a sword. But yet he doesn't like where society put him either. because compliments on your master, even though he didn't do anything. He's like, oh, okay. And then, of course, we introduce the romance. He's like, oh, damn. If Keira Knightley said that to me, I'd be like, oh, really? Okay. He said, boy, it's a sense of propriety. We really must be going. It's so good. But if Pirates of the Caribbean 6 comes, I just want a movie with good characters, intriguing story, an emotional connection, and some fun action adventure with some comedy. If we get that, then I'll be fine. And of course, we introduce Jack Sparrow, who apparently I've heard that he was originally supposed to be played by Jim Carrey, which, oh boy, I'm so glad that it didn't work out, because we got Johnny Depp. And I believe he was nominated for an Oscar this year also, because he was just... the charisma is just oozing out of him. Pirates of the Caribbean 6, honestly, I have no idea. I don't think so. But, who knows? But my ranking of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies is super simple. It's just the order of release. It's that simple. I think they've all gotten progressively worse, although I do like Dead Man's Chest quite a bit. World's End got extremely convoluted and complicated. Stranger Tides had no charming characters at all. And the fifth one was just... it was depressing. Seeing this lovely, idea for a franchise just run out of gas. And that's great to see, like that swelling music with Jack Sparrow's just like little dinky ship. And we introduced that Jack Sparrow is a little bit of a slimy bugger. So much so that he just steals this. Just a quiet little moment. That one guy, this is my favorite movie of all time. Not just my favorite Pirates movie, my favorite Disney movie. It is my favorite movie, period. Period. I just think it's so well done. And it reminds me of why I love movies. The sense of adventure. And the action and the comedy. And then from a filmmaking standpoint, with my film degree lens on, the characterization, the script, how perfectly executed it is. It's just it all works. There are some flaws in the movie, of course. It's not perfect. There are some plot holes with the pirates, screaming when they shouldn't. But, it doesn't bother me. Elizabeth Swann obviously having some problems. And I love these two guys. Sean, you missed out, buddy. This is a great movie. I'm glad you're watching it now. Hopefully. A ship like that. And of course, we learn about the Dauntless and the Interceptor, about their speeds. The Black Pearl. Swelling music. Ooh, watch out. This scene's so great because it establishes the mystery of the Black Pearl, right? This looming threat. And of course, we see how Johnny Depp, or Jack Sparrow, is able to talk his way out of any situation. Johnny Depp is the Robert Downey Jr. of the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Well, you could say that about any leading actor about any series. So yes, it's true, but you can also say that about anything. And it's so great that, Jack Sparrow, the whole Keith Richards impression came from Johnny Depp, because he's like, well, pirates may have been rock stars back in the day, right? I think he's telling the truth. Telling the truth. Great line. Great facial expression. Established comedy. Okay, this is going to be a scary movie about pirates, but it's also going to be quite fun. Oh man, if they were rebooting Pirates of the Caribbean and had to recast Jack Sparrow, I don't think that will ever happen, because I think studios know how much people love Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow, and so much of that role was brought out because of Johnny Depp. Like, he was the one who said, it should be like Keith Richards, it should be like this, it should be like that. So he kind of morphed the character into his own. And I think if they recast him, I think it might be a financial bomb. So, oh man. But if I had to recast him, it's a good question. Thinking somebody younger. Oh boy. I'm at a loss. It might come to me. Yeah. If they go for a reboot, it would probably be, or it might be a spin-off if they have to continue this franchise. But then again, I still think that people wouldn't see it. I think Disney would just have to do something different. And still, even though Jack Sparrow is, a double-crossing pirate, he still has a heart of gold, because he's still willing to save Elizabeth Swann. And of course, here comes the pirate medallion calling to the pirates of the Black Pearl. I feel like I need to say that in an Irish accent for some reason. The Black Pearl. Or down to Cornwall, where it gets more piratey. Hoist the mizzenmast, Coin Trelawney. I didn't mind the Keith Richards cameo. Honestly, I think that's not the problem with the third movie. I think with those ones, they just forgot what kind of movies they were making. And they made the mistake of having Jack Sparrow be the main character. Because in this movie, the main characters are Will and Elizabeth. And Jack Sparrow's like the catalyst. Wherever he goes, the adventure follows. But the story kind of unfolds around him. Clearly never been to Singapore. Yeah. Messed that up. The reveal of the medallion. Okay, Elizabeth Swann has got some relevance to the pirates, which of course Jack knows about, but we don't know about yet. I just love that. He's like, Even though a couple of minutes ago, or a couple seconds ago, you said to shoot him. That's just nitpicking mode coming out. Captain Jack Sparrow. Of course, we get all of Jack's belongings. A compass that doesn't point north. Oh. What franchise is better? That's tough. But you have heard of me. That's a great line too. Fast and the Furious or Pirates of the Caribbean? That's tougher than I thought. I'll go Pirates. But I think the best films, like the more like fun films, are ahead for Fast and the Furious. But I don't think fun films are ahead of for Pirates of the Caribbean. And it's funny because Keira Knightley or Elizabeth Swan's like, I kind of liked being threatened by that pirate. Maybe she had like a choking fetish. Oops. It's a Disney film, Brando. I saved your life, you saved mine. We're square. And I love this line too. Swelling of the music. Great line. Captain Jack Sparrow. Thrower. Daring escape. Hans Zimmer score. Boom. And so much of this is practical too, which just makes it feel more real. I think that's Jack Davenport. Is that his name? I haven't seen him in much, but I think he does more British TV. I could be completely wrong, though. You know, just seeing this makes me want to go on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which is so much better in Disneyland than Disney World. Don't let anyone tell you different. Take cover, man. From what? Who's shooting at him? Yeah, I didn't drink any booze last time, but, you know, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. You gotta be drinking rum, so. Let's hope this thing doesn't go off the rails. But it doesn't matter. We're watching movies, right? We're having fun. Hopefully you guys are having fun. Yeah. Whoa! I'm not at that part yet, but. Who has never seen this movie before? I'd say Barbosa. Well, Davy Jones in the second one was pretty menacing, I will admit. And then just doo-doo-doo. When I was in concert band, when we played in the Disney parks, we played the Pirates of the Caribbean score. And I played the trombone. So when we played Davy Jones, ba 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 da da. It was so great. But like, this score makes you want to jump up and down on your bed with a sword and go, yar, yar, I'm a pirate. And then, of course, we get Will and Jack. And this is why I think this movie is so great, is that they're not just action scenes. They're action scenes, you know, that are entertaining and exciting, but they're also telling us so much about the characters. We learn so much about Will. We learn so much about Jack. We learn so much about their interaction and their relationship in a fun, exciting way. And I don't know if you guys have seen the Pirates of the Caribbean Accidentally Genius video, but they talk about how, you know, action scenes are a lot like musicals, or musical scenes, musical numbers and musicals. And yeah, it's so true though. I mean, I wish I came up with that analogy, but it's so true. Look at that. That's a nod to Bill Turner, his father. Okay, so he might be a little reckless, but we've seen he's good with swords. You threaten Miss Swan. Dun, 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 dun. So this is pretty clever of Jack. I need to switch sides with Will so I can escape. And notice what's the trick that Will does here? He throws his sword, which is a funny moment, but it does come into play later. Just those little details make a script magical. And yes, that one guy, Matrix is on Sunday. And yes, Davy Jones is the guy with the squid chin. But I do like Barbosa in the context of the first film. Of course, they bring him back because, again, like, they can't think of anyone new. They got to keep bringing back Barbosa because he's just too good of a character. And Jeffrey Rush gives too great of a performance. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, this... You need to find yourself a girl, mate. Oh, voice crack. Yeah. That's a great line, too. I didn't know what this meant when I was a kid. See, establish Will Turner's hatred for pirates because he says, I can kill it, not him. Right? The little tiny nod. I believe Orlando Bloom put that in there too. Said, okay, well, if Will Turner's supposed to hate pirates, but then he starts to think like a pirate throughout the course of the movie, you know, turning out to be more like his father. You know, just those little details. They're subtle. You don't really notice them. But, like Red Letter Media says, but your brain did. And see, then you bring in some goofiness. But still, like, the goofiness is warranted. This is a Disney action-adventure comedy, swashbuckling adventure film. I did not take any classes about music design, but I did take some classes about sound design. The program that I do, it's just you kind of learn about almost everything, but my school didn't really focus on composing. There are some other colleges and universities in my area that focus more on like composing and things like that. One of my fellow bandmates did that. She's great. I really do think that she might be able to become a composer one day. I really hope so. I like his story arc through the first two, but it just shows that I also love this too. This shot was not meant for you. We learn a little bit about Will's father. This is brought up in one line. And this shot is not meant for you. Brought up just once. A little curious. So that when it comes in play later, it has been set up in the first act. And then, of course, Will Turner does not get the recognition he deserves again. But in the context of the first movie, I like Barbosa. Then, of course, we have some symbolism and some imagery from the ride. Fancy that. I know this movie too much. You know, so we introduced that society at the time has kind of said that they cannot be together. Will has to marry Norrington because governor's daughter, Commodore. And then, of course, Will, being that heart of gold, that pirate adventurer in his blood, which he is denying. But, of course, we know, if we've seen this movie before, what happens. And he senses something, too. Nice little touch. Just get a cat in there. Makes it all the more creepy when you have a black cat. And we enter the Black Pearl. And this score is so great. And I remember seeing this on the big screen for the first time when I was about 8 years old. And I was like genuinely scared. That shot with the kid crying, I'll point it out. But it's it gets pretty intense and pretty dark for a Disney film. I know those guns. I love this too. Great line. And now we see the Black Pearl completely wreck shit in the town, just blowing up everything. And of course the camera kind of goes off the tripod a little bit for a bit more shaky cam. In some moments, of course. And we see the kid right here. Like, that's pretty intense. And enter the pirates coming in on the boats with the fog. I'm not too sure if this was the first PG-13 Disney movie. I feel like there must have been one before. I can't think of it, but you might be right. Were there any parts in the fourth and fifth movie, or are they all completely bad? I'm assuming you mean... Oh, here's a plot hole right here. When he throws the hatchet. Ugh. But I'm assuming, yeah, good parts. There are good parts to 4, and there are good parts to 5. But just... It's just so... They're so bleh, right? That's probably the best way to describe it. And of course, they're going for the main house up on the hill. And this is pretty dark for a Disney movie, too. Imagine if there's a bunch of Tarantino blood right here. Like, yikes. That's still pretty intense. Of course, there's no blood in this part, of course. That part might not have been the best motivation for her to say the name Turner, because she's afraid of her, her status. But then again, her status has been revealed, so boom. Another plot hole right here. He's like, it's hot. But of course, we don't know that yet. We do know that they're not supposed to feel anything. And I always love this shot here, too. The shot of the cannon, not the shot of the camera. Like, great shot. And of course, here comes the great line. Pop it, pop it, pop it. These two guys have great designs too. She forgot to make sure the carpet was okay. And the great shot too, you get the one line across her eye, taken away. Another great line. Best Hans Zimmer movie score after his Pirates scores. Gladiator's pretty good. Black Hawk Down is good. Lion King is good. I know everyone's expecting me to say The Dark Knight, so I'll say The Dark Knight. I'll say Inception. I'll say Interstellar. But they're not scores that I listen to regularly on my phone. Frost Nixon was pretty good. He did that one. Oh, little puppy. So has everyone here in the chat seen this movie before? Boom. So we can learn about Jack Sparrow's backstory a little bit. And we introduce the curse. And you gotta love the makeup and the hair, and like just how gross the teeth look from everyone. And then of course he's now placing the entire movie into his head, his entire plan of what he needs to do. Yeah. I know Gladiator came out prior, but I don't know if that's what you mean, like saying Finn Flash. I don't know if you meant like after coming out after the Pirates movies, or just in terms of a ranking, because like I have this at number 1 for Hans Zimmer. So Prince of Egypt, that he did a phenomenal job on also. A lot of people don't talk about that very much, but he did a great job on that. We introduced Jeffrey Rush as Captain Barbosa. He's yucking up every scene he's in. He was born to play a pirate. I love how their eyes are just so yellow, too. But this also shows that we have some flair in Elizabeth Swann. She's not just a damsel in distress. She can actually hold her own. It was pretty clever, too. Although, later on in the film, we do see, spoilers for anyone who's never seen it before, they can walk on the bottom of the ocean. But then again, we don't really know how deep it is here, so sure. Boom. And just like that, the whole movie truly begins. Miss Turner. I would say maybe 23. Boom. This is so great, too. Welcome aboard the Black Pearl, Miss Turner. So great. I really do think that Hans Zimmer will do a great job with No Time to Die. I really do. I think it's going to be epic. It's going to be classy. It's going to be elegant. It's going to be epic. I hope. One can only hope, right? How's it going, Daniel? You're a blacksmith. Ouch. Oh. Oh. Hi. I've heard of it. it's like that line is just pure magical nonsense, but it works. Boom. And he's like, okay, this guy is acting quite like a pirate right now. He's like, boom. Not really hiding his knowledge of it. Hell yeah. And then there we go. Now they're off. Commandeer. Now good. And end of Act 1. Everything you need to know, you have learned in the beginning of the film. Sure, a lot of it's shrouded in mystery, like the curse and Will Turner's father, and the fact that the pirates were so happy that Elizabeth Turner said Miss Turner, or Elizabeth Swann said Turner, and Captain Barbosa was like, Turner. And of course, I don't know if you guys have ever done this in a canoe. I've never done it this deep in an ocean before, but I have done it in a lake before. It's cool. That must be really heavy to hold down that far underwater. But anyways. Yes, Celeste, you're right. Hans Zimmer will be doing the scores for Wonder Woman 1984 and Dune, but those are two films that are like, yeah, I'll see them. You know? You'll never make it out of the bay. You'll never make it out of the bay. Yeah, Captain Jack Sparrow, bitch. Oh, Savvy, sorry. Oh, this is a Disney film, yes? It can, but going that deep, you've got to be like Superman strength. We did it in a lake. We did it in Shuswap Lake, and it was like the amount of water between the top of the bottom of the canoe and the top of the water was like this much. So DC's been on a roll lately. Well, and here's the shot. Here's the thumbnail for the watch along. That smile. Pirate's life. And see, this is where a nitpick can come in. It's like, are you telling me the Navy is this stupid to leave the entire ship like this? But you know what? This movie kind of shows us that the Navy are kind of idiots. So, it's fine. Especially this asshole who thinks he can actually get back on the interceptor, so by swinging on it. He swings. Not even remotely close. Yeah, that one guy. I'm not the biggest DC fan, but I liked Wonder Woman and I liked Shazam. And that's about it. Bring on the hate mail, DC fans. This is the only one production flaw that I can see. So the boat gets destroyed way sooner than the ship actually touches it. But the best moment I've ever seen, or best pirate I've ever seen. Just seeing that makes me want to go on a boat and just, like, the one place where I feel like truly myself is in the middle of the ocean. I love it. The meme. There's a lot of memes in this movie, dude. I don't know which one you're talking about. I didn't like Aquaman. Sorry. He's like, crap, I gotta tell him. You know, Birds of Prey was okay. I actually gave that one a 3 out of 5. But you know what? The fact that I haven't thought about it since the movie, it's not a good sign. But yeah, good pirate. You look just like him. Boom. Boom. Basically, Jack putting Will in his place, but saying, you know what, you can be a pirate and a good man in this universe of pirates. I am a fan of the MCU, but if you're going to tell me that, oh, it's a Marvel fanboy, not a DC fanboy, I'm a movie fan, and I like good movies. And just from my own experience, Marvel has made more good movies than bad movies, and DC has made more bad movies than good movies. If they decide to reboot Batman v Superman versus Flash versus Wonder Woman versus Bugs Bunny, and it's a good movie, I'm there. You know, I don't come from a comic background. All I want to do is see a good movie. And I give every movie an honest chance. But there are some movies that I just refuse to see, like Cats, you know, and like anybody, there's some movies that you'll see and you're like, I don't really want to watch that. But, you know, if a DC movie catches my eye and looks interesting, I'll go see it, and I hope I like it. Least favorite DC movie? Yeah. It's a great line. If every town in the world was like this one, every man would not feel unwanted. Or no man would feel unwanted. Not sure I deserve it. Question for you guys in the chat. Have you guys ever said the wrong name to a woman? In any situation? I have. I called her Jessie, but her name was Jade. At least I didn't call her Victoria. My least favorite DC movie, I'd say, Aquaman. Sorry, guys. But then again, I don't really like Batman vs Superman. I don't like Man of Steel, and I don't like Justice League. Yeah, that was for the spell. So here's a line that's coming up that my friend and I quote every time we're at a bar and we have drinks. We cheers our drinks. Take what you can, give nothing back. We cheers, we drink, and we slam it down every single time that we go out to a bar. But I love this scene. Oh, you know what? That's a good. I have seen Suicide Squad. I choose that one. Jack, it's fool's errand. I've not seen the Snyder Cut yet. Boom. Makes you... Let's just say it's a matter of leverage. But Will Turner hears that. But see, what's good about this is that all the information that is necessary, we learned already. And it's adding on it and going, oh, okay, so now that's what Jack Sparrow decided to help Will Turner after he said his name. But there's still some mystery. You know what? I totally forgot about Suicide Squad for DC movies. I'm going to choose that one as my worst. As my least favorite. Right here it is. Take what you can. Give nothing back. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. All of you. Hopefully you guys have a drink and... There it is. I'm watching myself on the replay on my screen. It's a little delayed. So... I think it was a good idea to keep this movie PG-13. Because it's a fun, comedic movie. He's like, damn it, I've never seen a naked woman before. Well, you know what, being pirates, you know... Pillage and plunder. I think the R word is in there too, but this is a Disney film, so that's a big no-no. Anyways. Classic movies that are widely liked, but you don't like. Well, I guess Aquaman. I do have a list of that. I could talk about it after the movie, if you just comment after that. And see, you can see here, you know, Elizabeth Swann, she's not like your standard classic, sophisticated English woman. Proper dining etiquette. Is there a superhero movie that you want to see but that has not been made yet? Not really. You know, I'm not a big... I like superheroes for sure. Maybe a sequel to The Rocketeer. He's not a superhero, but it's based on a comic book. Graphic novel. What's the R word? Wait until you get older, kid. Citizen Kane. Got it. And of course we see... terrible curse. We learn about the curse of the Black Pearl. Punished for eternity. You know, and it's also great that you see like the candles and the food kind of moving on the table. You know, the gold. We took it all. Pleasurable company. It's a hint for the R word. Sorry, my dog's barking. That's why I mute the microphone. Boom. Concerned by this. This is another great Hans Zimmer song, Swords Crossed, if you're listening to it on the album on Spotify or on CD or wherever. Yeah, and you learn the one way we can end the curse. But it's great is that it's all Oh. It's 7 p.m. here. That's why everyone's banging outside for the healthcare workers. I'll close the window. And again, there's a lot of references to other Disney films in this movie. You know, like Governor Swan is dressed like Captain Hook. They're talking about a poison apple. You know, Snow White. You know, a little mermaid dropped up on deck and told them the whole story. There's a lot of references to other Disney films here. And then here comes the great score. Dum 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 boom 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 boom. Yeah. I remember this scene scared me as a kid. And then, of course, we have the big trampoline effect. Oh, and all those pirate designs are so great. And you know what? The CGI, yeah, sure, it's not the best, right? But like, you have to think like, at the time, this was great. And then, yeah, that one guy, my favorite genre is probably got to be action adventure. And then this monkey freaked the shit out of me when I was a kid. I went, ah! I don't know why I was I was so scared. And I was like 8 or something, 7 or 8 when this movie came out. All right, here we go, guys. Drinking another one. This is rum and Coke number 3. No, nothing. Ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. Great line. This movie has a lot of great lines. The only line, like the superhero action catchphrase line that doesn't really land is, "You like pain? Try wearing a corset." That's the one that just... I thought spy was your favorite genre? Did I say that spy was my favorite genre? I mean, I love James Bond, but I still consider those action movies. Like, my favorite movies of all time, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, I know that's more fantasy, but there's still some action-adventure in it. Raiders of the Lost Ark, James Bond, Braveheart, you know, I've considered that like an adventure, historical drama, but it still has that, you know, that swelling musical score. Is Zach still here? Cotton Scar. Ah, fucked it up. Mr. Cotton. Answer man. Ah. That's so gross. Mr. Cotton's parrot. Same question. Also, Gavin, thanks a lot, man. I'm seeing like the chat revenue, and it's funny because it converts from American dollars to Canadian dollars. So, dude, like, just thank you again, man. I appreciate it so much, and I hope that, you know, wish nothing but good fortune for you. And enter Zoe Saldana before she was famous. Apparently, this shoot was so hard on her that she almost quit acting because of it. But just imagine if she quit acting. No Gamora, no Avatar, no Star Trek. Like, well, not her character in those. That one. Just lie. I mean, you're a pirate. And again, Will Turner is becoming more of a pirate. Favorite Johnny Depp movie other than Pirates of the Caribbean? Edward Scissorhands is good. Sweeney Todd is good. I actually have a giant Johnny Depp book. I don't know if you can see. You can't see it, but it's on my shelf. It's like this big biography of all of his films and all about Johnny Depp. It's really great. Just check my phone and someone's like, "Would you follow me back?" If you ask politely and you say please, then perhaps yes. Yes, most Johnny Depp films are with Tim Burton. And of course we got Isla de Muerta. I was every single time I go down to Puerto Vallarta or Cabo San Lucas or Los Cabos or Playa del Carmen, there's always like these pirate tours and they always play Pirates of the Caribbean music. And it is pretty sweet to be on an actual pirate ship cruising around the coast of Cabo San Lucas on a pirate ship and they're blasting Hans Zimmer's score. It's just, oh man, it's so great. And, whenever I go down to Mexico or Hawaii, like I always love just to walk on a beach and have my headphones in listening to Pirates of the Caribbean. Like it's just it's a score that captures that the adventure and the movie magic. It works so well. And of course we zoom out to the creepy but awesome Isla de Muerta, the island that can only be found for those who know where it is. Dead men tell no tales right there. This is my favorite Hans Zimmer score. This is my favorite film score of all time, next to Star Wars. Star Wars it's close. And same with the movie of the first Star Wars with Pirates of the Caribbean, but I put Pirates of the Caribbean at my number one spot. Will you like... Yeah. Captain of the Black Pearl. Boom. Slipped in. There's new information that we do learn, but it's all kind of like set up, sort of. The mystery is set up from the beginning. And then, of course, we learn about... Boom. Yeah, mutiny against him. There you go. Yeah, because he went mad with the heat. It's funny, Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp do look somewhat similar. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Will you like Johnny Depp as the new Joker for Robert Pattinson Batman? Will I like him? Well, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say that I will. Would I like to see it? Johnny Depp's a great actor, so you know what? I'm going to trust the casting directors. Also, would you like a Quentin Tarantino Godzilla movie where Godzilla is treated like Jesus? Jesus. Good characters, likable characters, intriguing story, emotional investment. If a film has that, I don't care what it's about. So bring it on. As long as it's good, I'll watch it. I see turtles. You heard that? As in herding like sheep? Just making fun of your spelling there, that one guy. Human hair from my back. Even as a kid, I'm like, okay, that's definitely not the story. And of course, we do find out the actual story of how Jack Sparrow was able to get off that island. But watching this a couple days ago, I'm thinking, what should the worst should happen? Keep to the code. And then Will Turner's like, okay, yeah, I know that I'm going to get double-crossed here. which he would have been. You know, Jack Sparrow is still technically like the bad guy in this movie in terms of, you know, like our main characters are Will and Elizabeth, but Jack Sparrow doesn't really care about that. He just wants the pearl back, and he's going to use whatever he can do, whatever he can to get it back, and that means, you know, double crossing Will. You know, so it makes sense. But it's funny. Like I always thought that, you know, there's a lot of materials here for a Pirates of the Caribbean prequel. The mutiny between Barbosa and Jack, you know, finding the gold and Bootstrap Bill being killed. Like, there's a lot of story there. But then again, you're going the Rogue One route. And that could be a problem. Yeah. But you know what? I'm just happy that Johnny Depp is getting some justice from Amber Heard. You know? And I believe him. Again, I mean, I don't know the guy. I don't know Amber Heard. But, you know, based on the testimonies between two of them, and I believe him. Alien has those things, but I don't like it. Has what things? Would you like Kill Bill Volume 3 and Django and Zorro? I don't know what you mean by Django and Zorro. I haven't seen Kill Bill Volume 2 yet, so if we get Kill Bill Volume 3, then I guess I gotta watch Kill Bill Volume 2. I like this line too. Not all treasure is silver and gold, mate. And it's just showing that Will Smith is turning more into a pirate like his father. Broke him out of jail, picked up a crew in Tortuga just to save Elizabeth. Do the ends justify the means, right? Yeah. And 100 times again. Yeah. I wonder how many Oscars this movie would have won if Lord of the Rings came out a different year. But then again, Far Side of the World, or Master and Commander, Far Side of the World came out the same year as that. That's a good movie too. If you guys haven't seen that one, it's a really good one. Django is Django from Django. And Shane and Zorro is the classic Zero from the Hero 1920s. Boom. If you guys are fans of Pirates of the Caribbean, I recommend checking out The Mask of Zorro. I love Johnny Depp's face right there. Ooh, Grace Poppet for you. Yeah, he's willing to totally just give him up. Mask of Zorro from, I think, 1998. Antonio Banderas. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean, but with, like the Mexican masked bandit. It's quite fun. Eat a bushel of apples? That's just kind of gross. It's like, there's no sense in killing you. Not a waste. Which, of course, kind of implies the R word, which is kind of disgusting. Mask of Zorro. Yeah. What did I say? That's the movie I meant. Mask of Zorro. It's similar to Pirates of the Caribbean in terms of, like, the action-adventure type of movie. Right here. Waste not. That's a little gross. Okay. Yes. The Mask of Zorro is a fun movie. This scene always gave me a shock when I was a kid. Right here. Ugh. was like, I was not very well versed in movies back then. Smack. Boom. Which movies were Davy Jones in? He was in Dead Man's Chest and World's End. Yeah. Had medallion, proper age, and she said her name was Turner. So of course the pirates are not really at fault for that. Of course they're gonna believe it. But then yes, bring the medallion. He's a great design for a pirate. The dreadlocks and the real shit teeth. Yes, every night at 7 p.m. I don't know if that was just the Canadian thing, but it's every night at 7 p.m. Everyone bangs pots and all claps and honks their horns to celebrate all the healthcare workers. Anyway, I'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. Oh. You know whose blood we need. I know whose blood you need. There you go. And you know what? It's established now, like Jack Sparrow has every reason to betray Will now. And we finally have Will and Elizabeth back on screen together. Don't stop. Oh, she wants him. And those luscious brown eyes. And of course, the reunited Will Turner and the medallion. Man, Keira Knightley's so beautiful. And now he realizes why Jack Sparrow did the things that he did. And he's pretty pissed about it. And it's a sudden realization that, yep, pirate runs in his veins. But what's he going to do with that? Can he sulk or become the hero? We see Jack do what he does best. Talk his way out of any situation. Make some deals. And of course, here comes a pretty fun action scene. The pirate battle. Yeah, it's true. Reminds me of the bad guy in or King Edward, the Longshanks, and Braveheart. Use up the Irish. Arrows cost money. The dead cost nothing. And here comes the score, swelling up. Christoph Waltz from Django Unchained. I'd like to see Christoph Waltz as a villain in Pirates of the Caribbean if they decide to make a sixth one and they have to have Jack Sparrow back. I think he could do it. Yeah, this movie just makes me want to go back to Disneyland and go on the ride, sing the song Yo Ho, Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me, go in the gift shop and just look at all the pirate merchandise. It's like every single time I go to a Disney theme park, I always watch Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Pirates of the Caribbean, and then Saving Mr. Banks and Mary Poppins. Every single time I go to a Disney park. And they just happen to be all my favorite movies of all time, right? Or some of them. They're all up there. Yeah. So good. And he's now accepted that pirate is in his veins. He's willing to fight for it. And Elizabeth has kind of found her place too, right? So she's totally at home with all this pirate stuff. And of course, getting ready for battle. Totally outnumbered, outgunned. Saving Mr. Banks is an amazing movie. I really think it's... I'm going to quote Mary Poppins on this one. I've said this in my review. Practically perfect in every way. Daft like Jack. Daft like Punk. It's funny because this crew are just a bunch of drunks that they found in Tortuga, right? There's one shot of Barbosa going, "Prepare to board!" And then he kind of yells that, and the camera zooms back and you see all the pirates grabbing their weapons, and the music swells up. It's just masterful. I'll point it out when it happens. And there's a couple of lines from the ride. "You blooming cockroaches." It was a great shot. Having both of the pirates just kind of yelling at each other, getting ready. I love this scene. Fire, 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 boom. Stop blowing holes in my ship. Ew. You know, the swelling music. Like, it's just so much fun. It's so good. Yeah, pretty bad on your part to leave it down there, but... And this is pretty intense, too, you know, like... I always get pretty, like, tensed up when a character is trapped and the water keeps rising. Like, my sister, whenever she watches this movie, she always gets freaked out during this scene when Will gets trapped. I think because of her claustrophobia. Right here. Cockroaches. Right here. Prepare to board! Zoom back, you see all the pirates grab their things, the music swells. It's just a little tiny moment, which makes, like, the... Yeah. And there it goes. Interceptor is now completely disabled. I will admit, though, the best scene in the next movie is definitely the fight with the Kraken. Like, for a sequel, that was probably the best idea for the next big villain, the Kraken. You know, it's funny, the first video game I ever got for my Nintendo 3DS was Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. So I have played all of it, yeah. For the 3DS. Those Lego games can be pretty fun, I will admit. I don't play them very much anymore. I don't really play video games that much anymore. I'll play them once in a while. But, yeah, those Lego ones were pretty fun when I was younger. Yeah. And just the fact that it's so loud that no one can hear Will Turner, it's another little moment of intensity. I've heard very good things about Jedi Fallen Order. Maybe once after a couple more reviews, and I just have like videos ready to go, maybe I'll like put like 2 days aside to get Jedi Fallen Order. And always, when I played Kingdom Hearts, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, but I played the crap out of Kingdom Hearts 2, and I loved when we would go to the Pirates of the Caribbean world, Port Royal. They were always my favorite parts of the game. Those games are a ton of fun. That's one game I really should buy and play through. And that little monkey, that little shit. The monkey finding the medallion and all that water kind of reminds me of Mr. White getting all the money at the end of Casino Royale. You know? And there it is. All of Jack's hopes gone. Not you. We need the monkey, Jack. That would really hurt your eyes. Being in salt water like that. But I'm okay with it. It's a pretty good explosion, I will say. Not CGI. Well, maybe it's CGI right there, but... Ugh. That's what I mean by the R word, dude. What's in your head, boy? Like that. Oh. Eunuch. Spitting image of Bootstrap Bill, and then you get Stellan Skarsgård to play his father, who looks nothing like Orlando Bloom. Agreed. The yellow eyes, the fucking ugly ass teeth. It's a great design. And that laugh too. Ha 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 ha. Lying bastard. You know, that's pretty good line. When or where? Another plot hole. It's still warm. Which he shouldn't be able to feel because he's a pirate, but, you know. Too long! Yeah. I think this is the good part for the movie to kind of slow down, you know, and have Jack and Elizabeth actually on screen together more than just, you know, this is the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow, right? Yeah, it was probably a good, like, and see, that's the thing with scripts and the execution of it. You know, this is a great moment. You know, we've had, you know, the Tortuga scene, then you have the Isla de Muerta scene, then you have this action sequence. It's a good moment to kind of slow things down. You start to develop more of Jack's character, more of Keira Knightley's character, or Elizabeth Swann, right? And he's willing to give up. But but the heart of Elizabeth Swann, you know, she wants to be a pirate too, or have adventure. Three days, lying on a beach drinking rum. Sounds amazing. Welcome to the Caribbean. And now she gets the idea. Ooh, rum. Okay, that's his weakness. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. It is so infectious. If you guys have been to really bad eggs in the theme parks, it's that and Zippity Doo Dah from Splash Mountain. Those two songs will be in my head all day. What a ship is. What the Black Pearl really is. It's freedom. Epic line. He's like, oh yeah. Mrs. Sparrow. Twirl the mustache. Oh, yes. To the Black Pearl. Ah, screw it. I'll do it just like Jack. Last one of the night. Maybe not. Ugh. That's real rum, by the way, guys. Love his face. Nope! Why is the rum gone? But why is the rum gone? Great line. Great line. And I love how he loves alcohol so much. He's really willing to just like, oh, I'm going to shoot this bitch right in the back. I got to save it for Barbosa. Yeah, Zippity Doodah is from Song of the South. And is in Splash Mountain in the Disney parks. No living with her after this. Mm-hmm. Drinks all around. Such iconic lines. And then we learn more about Bootstrap Bill Turner, which of course was all set up. Everything we needed to know was set up in the first act perfectly, with perfect execution. That one guy, what was your favorite Pirates movie before? And that's a question for all you guys in the chat. What is your favorite movie of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise? And what is your favorite movie of all time? Because this one definitely is my favorite movie of all time. Sure, there are movies that objectively are better made than this, but this movie will always remind me of why I love movies in the first place. It's well made, but the sense of adventure and movie magic is just undeniable. Undeniable. Bootstraps, bootstraps. Oh, look at those teeth! Look at those fucking teeth, man! Also, I have a cherry Pepsi. Watch it explode in my face on live. Also, my Finnish friend, if you're still here, then I'll answer your question about films that, generally are liked but I don't like afterwards. I have 15 minutes. Oh my god. 15 movies that are high on Rotten Tomatoes that I don't like, and then 15 minutes. Jesus Christ. It's all the rum, guys. 15 movies. Also, here, James Norrington breaks character right here. He's almost about to laugh. He's like, oh, shit. You know what, Robert? It's my number 2, A New Hope. It's so close. It's so close. But I have 15 movies that I love that Rotten Tomatoes hates, and I have 15 movies that Rotten Tomatoes hates that I love. And I have those lists, and I'll answer them after the movie. Jeez, that was hard to get through. Ah, great. They can't just cut his hand, they gotta slice his neck open. So yes, favorite Pirates movie, favorite movie of all time, and also favorite film score. I'd love to know in the chat. And if you guys are watching on the replay, then comment below. I mean, he escaped before. He can escape again. Except for Elizabeth, who is in fact a woman. Shut up. You're next. Don't want to be doing that. Shit. And although this movie shows the Navy as a bunch of idiots, it is good to show them that they still have the firepower. They still have the ships. They're still a threat to the Pirates of the Caribbean. And of course, you see that in the sequels for sure. Danny Elfman's Spider-Man score is a great score. You know, the opening, the opening credit score, and him, like, the montage, the costume montage song. That's great too. And I've seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World once. I didn't actually like it, but it was a long time ago. So I think if I watched it again, I might like it a lot more. To the opportune moment. Right away, he tells Will exactly his plan. Boom. Steals a medallion. A little bit of foreshadowing for the next action sequence. Yes, that one guy. There's a difference between the best movie of all time and favorite movie of all time. But you know what, though? all film is subjective. Anything that anyone ever says about any movie is an opinion, which is why I don't like when people say IMO, because I feel it's just like a safety net for them, like saying their opinion and then saying, well, you can't make fun of me for my opinion. You can't say anything bad about it because it's my opinion. It's like a safety net to say that you can't say anything about it, which to that I say, you're not your opinions, right? So don't get offended if anyone just disagrees with you. But the best movie of all time, it's all based on personal preference. So I don't even really, go into that. Like, I can say that There Will Be Blood might be a better made movie than this because there's a lot more symbolism and there's a complex character study. But as for favorite movie of all time, it's this one, The Holiday, 2005, for Hans Zimmer score. I've never even seen that movie. I haven't even heard the score either. And see, best movie of all time for you might be The Truman Show. I gave that a 4 out of 5, not a 5 out of 5. Right? So, again, people saying that they're the best movie of all time, it's all a matter of opinion. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, right? But for me, I don't really go into the best movie of all time because there's no quantifiable way to say if a movie is better than another. It's all based on subjectivity. All of it. But the best reviews, I believe, are where the subjective opinion is backed up with objective examples. Anyways, I'm going to open the window. That is a good score also. But you know what? I'll be right back, guys. And then, of course, we have the final sword fight. And see, that line might not have been the best either. What's going on, Brian? You're a little late to the movie, but glad you're here anyway. No, I know you're not saying that your opinion is right, dude. If you think Pirates or Truman Show is your favorite movie of all time, then by all means. And what's good about this is that you have the Pirates score and the Royal Navy score kind of clashing. Which comes up in a bit when James Norrington gets back on the ship. Was that Hans Zimmer? It looked like him. Oh, no, you didn't come off as a jerk, dude. And this scene's pretty great, too. Makes sense for him to be like, oh no. Boom. That's interesting. And then, of course, he does that little medallion trick with his fingers. The tick-a-tick-a-tick, tick-a-tick-a-tick, tick-a-tick-a-tick. And of course, when Will and Elizabeth team him up in this action scene, you can see how good their chemistry is. Oh. It's funny when you look at the Mask of Zorro trailer. That music and this music is almost exactly the same. And of course, that's a little fun bit with the hand, coming back to life. It's a great shot, too. Swinging around. And it's great you have a little, like, moonlight sections throughout the set. Jack's run is so good. Yeah. I think this is one of Johnny Depp's best performances. He was good in Ed Wood, too. But, I honestly didn't hear the Wilhelm scream. But, I think in the second movie, in the third movie, Jack Sparrow was so loved in this movie that they just completely overused him. And of course, she quotes Barbosa, but bloody pirates. Screwing her over. They're stealing our ship. Ba-da-bum-bum. Yeah, so you got like the theme for the Navy, and then it clashes with the Pirates score right here. Come on! Yeah! It's a pretty good one, too. Yeah, he was really good in Black Mass, too. The movie was, was competent, but, man, James Whitey Bulger, great character for him, too. I hope after this whole Amber Heard nonsense that he gets back and, audience kind of accept him again. And, it's funny. I think he was the only good thing in the last Fantastic Beasts movie. I love that. Just the pure scream of adrenaline. And so, yeah, Here There Be Monsters is not very good line, but this line isn't very good either. Try and wearing a corset. Yeah, Ed Wood is a great movie for Johnny Depp in terms of his performance. And see, that's a good line. At the moment, I don't know. Oh. Yeah, see, he shouldn't feel pain there because of, obviously, the curse, but I let it slide. But see, this is clever. And of course, like the early battle, when Will got beat by Jack Sparrow for cheating, not fair, you cheated. Of course, he obviously bends the rules. Sorry, Sean. Sorry if my film snob vocabulary isn't good enough for you. But it's competent. There's nothing really bad about it, but there's nothing really memorable about it. Like, I saw that once, and I've had no inkling to really see it again. Even though I did buy it on Blu-ray for $2-3. And then this is a good line, too, because it feels... Obviously, you're happy that he's dead, because he's obviously the bad guy in the movie, but it also feels tragic. I feel cold. It's almost a tragic death. It's like he finally is able to feel something and he feels cold in death. And obviously the pirates scared for their lives. And then seeing James Norrington's sword, which was established earlier on in the movie, have the pirate's blood. Just those little screenwriting tricks. Yeah, The Rock. Hans Zimmer did The Rock too, right? I believe. That's a good score also. Yeah, Keira Knightley is a total babe, and she's a very underrated actress. I don't think she's ever won an Academy Award, but I know that she's been nominated a couple times. But Nathan, to answer your question, the reason why I wanted to watch this was because I was supposed to be in Disneyland a couple days ago, but due to COVID-19, I had to cancel my trip. And this is my favorite movie of all time. Of all time, period. Yes. Check out my room tour on my movie channel. The ship is ours, gentlemen. And this score of the Pirates theme, kind of like that heroic version, I'm just gonna let it play. I'll let you guys enjoy it. It's awesome. Yes, if you go to my room tour, you'll see a poster for Pirates of the Caribbean. You'll see posters for Endgame, Harry Potter, Chamber of Secrets, Star Wars: A New Hope, Scarface, and a ceiling full of them. So definitely check out the movie room. Film my reviews in the movie room. It's just, I did do that, but it was always a hassle to set up the camera, and it was always a setup to hard to set up everything in there, and it was just a lot easier having the camera in here next to the editing station. But I do plan on buying a house pretty soon, and when I move out, there will definitely be a setup, right? A proper setup. Love this line too. That was it. Because my movie room obviously is, to watch movies and to have guests, and basically every single time that I would want to shoot a video in there, I got to set it up, got to set it down. With here, it's very easy. Like, it's always set up. I have a camera here so I can, record, and if I want to just move it for the reviews, just like have this camera over here. It's just super simple. So, but trust me, when I move out, there's going to be an actual BrandoCritic set. Wow, you can see the sunset kind of coming through here. Captain Jack Sparrow. Yeah, James Horner's a great composer too. The Rocketeer, some of his best work. But his best work, I think, Braveheart and Titanic. Yeah. I'll make it my own setup for sure. Yeah. That's why I like the current view now, where it has just the editing station, the wall in the background that I made for my current reviews. And then we have, Orlando Bloom dressed like a musketeer with a giant feather. And of course he sees Mr. Cotton's parrot. And so he says, you know what, I got to tell this woman that I love her. When I buy a house, that's when you'll see the new set. When will that happen? I'm not too sure. I love you. I love you. There it is. Yeah, the new set, you'll see it when I buy a house, and I currently live in one of the most expensive real estate cities in all of the world. So it's gonna, I'm almost there to put a down payment on an apartment, but it's gonna be a while. But I think the setup works right now. And then, of course, I'll try to film as much as I can in the movie room. And look at this. The move that captured Jack Sparrow in the beginning is the same move that saves him in the end. It's just sort of like poetry. It's sort of, they rhyme, right? Move to Ontario. No way, dude. I know. The film studio I work for, their head office is in Toronto. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. And then Will Turner has gone full circle, becoming a pure pirate. I'd love to move to Victoria, Heidi, I would, but there's no work for me. Well, you know what? If YouTube becomes my full-time job, then sure, I'll do that. Or I could do that, but, And a good man. That's me. Boom. Character arc completed. Character arc completed. They are the heroes of the movie. I really think it was a mistake to bring back Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann in the sequels. I really do. Because their stories were over. They've gone through their character arcs. And Jack Sparrow, of course, gets the pearl like he wanted. But, first one of these that you've done. Nathan, I've done many other watch-alongs. I was reading for you, mate. Love it. It never would have worked out between us, darling. Nice hat. And then, of course, the same cliff that Elizabeth fell off of. Set up, payoff. Yes. If you guys didn't hear already, this is my favorite movie of all time. And I mean, yes, I have seen it many, many, many times. I know things coming around every corner. But it's always been there, you know? And it always reminds me of that sense of adventure that is so endearing for me and the reason why I love movies, you know? And I think your favorite movie of all time doesn't necessarily have to be the best movie of all time. Like, I know that there are flaws in this movie, but it's just one that my heart opens up to the most. Do I enjoy the sequels? I enjoy parts of them. I enjoyed them more as a kid, but I really like Dead Man's Chest, and I thought World's End was okay, and Stranger Tides was okay, and then Dead Man Tell No Tales, or Salazar's Revenge as it's called now, is just so... Why even bother, right? He's a blacksmith. No, he's a pirate. And this little rendition of the Pirates theme is really heroic too. Hans Zimmerman, I'll let you play here. Great. And there it is. Their story's over. They won. They saved the day. And Jack Sparrow gets the Black Pearl back. Captain Barbosa is defeated. Boom. Hell yeah. So I'll stay around after the movie for like 10 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes. Or depending on how long you guys want to chill and chat. Answer questions, talk about the movie, all that good stuff. I was thinking about doing a Harry Potter watch along. That'd be pretty fun. Because Harry Potter, next to Star Wars, is my favorite film franchise. On the left side, there's a guy with a there's a guy from the crew right there. Now, bring me that horizon. Na. Really bad eggs. Drink up me hearty Joe-ho. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Me jolly Joe-ho. And there it is, directed by Gore Verbinski. My favorite movie of all time. And, you know, like, I hate to be that person, but, you know, it does have to do with nostalgia a little bit. I'm going to stop the timer now. Because this was, like, an eye-opening movie for me. You know, of course, I'd seen Spider-Man before this, like the Sam Raimi one. But when I saw this in the theater, I was just completely the blinders had come off. And, you know, every single time I've gone back to it, it reminds me of why I love movies. And I think that's the reason why it's my favorite movie of all time. And even if I go through it with my film school lens, the great execution from the screenplay, the great characterization of Will, Elizabeth and Jack and Captain Barbosa. The fact that it stays, true to the ride, but yet it's its own story with its own lore. The action scenes are great. The production design is wonderful. The score is just phenomenal. It's my favorite movie of all time. Star Wars is close. The first Star Wars movie, Episode 4, it's up there for sure. Like, it's close. But I just gotta... There's my dog barking, but... if I had to choose one, I guess I'd just have to go with Pirates of the Caribbean. Just based on the first film alone. If we were going trilogies, then Star Wars for sure. Right? Because I think, Pirates of the Caribbean, the sequels had some good things in them, and they had some, Davy Jones was awesome, Beckett was awesome, and they had some great scenes, but just, the fact that it got so big, right? They were trying to tell this epic story. Whereas I think, the real charm of Pirates of the Caribbean is that Jack Sparrow is not the main character. He's not the protagonist, right? He's always like that, right? He's like the bumbling fool, but he may act like the most drunken man in the room, but yet he's the smartest man in the room, right? He is able to talk his way out of anything, and that's what makes him so intriguing, right? You don't really know what side he really, you don't really know what side he's on, which makes his character a lot more intriguing. With him being the main character, you just know that, okay, well, we got to side with Jack, right? So anyway, do you like it better, worse, or even the same? I'm assuming you mean... I'm not too sure exactly what you mean by that. Nothing like incredible ending. Do you have a favorite ending aside from this? I do like the ending to A New Hope. I think in terms of a climax, right, I prefer the climax to Star Wars more than this. The attack on the Death Star, and then, of course, like the medal ceremony. I think I like that climax more than this in terms of an ending. So I like that one. And, yeah. So... Thank you for another awesome watch along. Dude, thanks for coming along, man. I appreciate it. And again, I gotta give thanks to Gavin, with the super chat right off the bat. Like, dude, like, you don't have to do that. And it means a lot to me, man. It really does. It means a lot to me for all of you to be here, right? To watch my favorite movie of all time. A movie that came out in 2003. So... Anyways, and I saw the Fantastic Beasts movies. Boring, in my opinion, of course. I honestly did not mind the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I thought it was actually kind of entertaining, and it kind of had that spirit of Harry Potter. You got a muggle coming into the wizarding world and seeing all this wonder, right? Like the blinders coming off, seeing all this magic. In the second one, it was just a giant pile of dog crap, right? It's just so much happened in that movie that we don't care. I don't care about the details. I care about the story. I care about the characters, and I care about the emotional impact that it has. When you're sitting in a movie theater and you're completely lost and you don't know who is who or who wants what or any of that crap, then you have yourself a boring movie. And I think the last Fantastic Beasts movie forgot why people watched Harry Potter in the first place. So what makes A New Hope better than Empire Strikes Back? Your opinion on that would be interesting. Honestly, dude, again, it's just all subjectivity. I think just the fact that it was the first one, right? And it was the one that kickstarted it all. And I think objectively, sure, Empire Strikes Back is a better film, but it's just, you can't deny how you feel, right? And that's what films are meant to do, right? If you have absolutely no emotional impact, if you do not feel scared at a scary part, if you do not feel exhilarated during an action scene, if you're not laughing at a comedy, if you're not feeling, your heart swell at a romance part, then the film isn't working. And for me, just the classic tale of the hero's journey and how effective it is in A New Hope, it's movie magic to me, of course. So that's why I rank A New Hope above Empire Strikes Back, because it's just my own personal enjoyment of watching the movie. With my film school essay brain going on, I could still probably write tens and tens of pages talking about how Empire Strikes Back is better than A New Hope. But it's all to do with personality, or how it affects you personally. So I like the first Fantastic Beasts, but the second one undid a lot of what they set up in the first. The fact that Jacob was brainwashed to fall in love was so out of character. Yeah. Do you have a director you find overrated that most people love? I immediately thought of Christopher Nolan, but I don't dislike any of his films, right? I think that The Dark Knight is an amazing movie. I think Batman Begins is an amazing movie. The Dark Knight Rises, I know a lot of people hate it, but I still really enjoy that one. I really enjoy Inception. Interstellar I was pretty lost at. I'm not going to lie. I'm thinking, I watched Prestige, I watched Dunkirk, and I watched Interstellar before I even got on YouTube, and I started to really pay attention to that kind of stuff. I go, I don't get it. It's boring. You know what I mean? So I do want to give those movies another shot, and I still haven't seen Memento, but I'm going to go, Christopher Nolan, I know a lot of people really hold him super high, but just in terms of my own personal taste, I don't hold him that high. So I guess I'd go with Christopher Nolan, but I don't dislike any of his movies. If that makes any sense, right? So I think it's just, people who, hold him as like their favorite director. I can't say the same. So I'll just go with that answer. I've always liked Hope better than Empire, so we're in the same boat with that. And again, it's not that I like it more. That's the hard part. It's like if you need to put in a ranking video. And that's the thing. It's like sometimes I love every single Star Wars movie in the original trilogy, but I would rank them A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So people automatically go, well, why don't you like Return of the Jedi? It's like, it's not that I don't like it, right? As soon as you put in a ranking, of course, that's just how people react to it. So do you like this movie less, more, or the same? I don't know what that's referring to. Are you talking about watching it over and over and over again? Again, this doesn't have the same effect on me as I did the first time I saw it, but it's only because I've seen it so many times. And I even saw this movie 3 days ago. I got new couches, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to relax. I'm going to, get into an altered state of mind. Wink, wink. And just enjoy my favorite movie of all time on these brand new reclining couches. So, I just kind of wanted to dive into that one, enjoy that, and then watch it with more of an analytical brain with you guys. But yes, I have seen American Psycho. It's a good movie for sure. Any movie with Phil Collins and Huey Lewis in the News is an A+ in my books. No, but I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I do enjoy it. How do you feel after you saw it this time? It's still my favorite movie of all time, dude. I love it, And again, like watching a movie with you guys, it's not the same as watching it alone because I'm not completely invested into the movie because I am talking throughout the entire thing and I'm talking through the chat, which is why I didn't really want to watch a movie for the first time when doing this, because I don't want to miss anything, right? When I watch a movie for the first time, I want to be completely in the movie experience. I don't look at my phone. I don't, do those kind of things. So, but, who knows? I might even, like, one of my friends was like, oh, dude, you should watch, like, a horror movie with them or a comedy movie. But it's like, but then what if I don't, have any scary reactions? What if I don't laugh? Then it's going to be a pretty boring watch along for me just going, you know what I mean? So, well, I'm the only one that likes the prequels in the eyes and mind of the beholder. I don't care if everybody hates them. Dude, like, I grew up on the prequels. Like, when I was growing up, the prequels were coming out. So, I have a soft spot for them too. I mean, I'll always have a soft spot for Phantom Menace. Even though I find that movie to be extremely frustrating, I'm still able to look at it through my 4-year-old eyes and, like, just be amazed of what I was seeing, right? But I didn't really become a Star Wars fan until about maybe 9 or 10 years old when I actually understood the timeline and what was going on and, who the characters were. So, Finn, I know you're still here. I do have a list, and I didn't know if I was going to put this in a video. I was just kind of bored at work, so I just made a list, and it was 15 movies that I love that Rotten Tomatoes has a rotten score of, and then 15 movies that I don't like that Rotten Tomatoes has a fresh score for. My dog's barking outside, so let me see if I can find it here. Do you guys want to hear it? You guys can give me shit for it in the comment section below. But, you know, that's how it goes, right? I just have all these lists of videos that I wanted to do. James Bond ranking. Oh, I don't even know if I still have them. I should still have them. I thought I still had them. I may have gotten rid of them, but who knows. Oh, here we go. All right. So, movies that I love with Rotten Tomatoes scores. And again, I don't necessarily love all these movies, but here we go. So, Vanilla Sky from 2001 has 42% Rotten Tomatoes. I gave it a 5 out of 5. Oh, Ryder. Anyways, and again, these movies might be able to change, but these are movies that I genuinely like. Oh, Ryder. Yeah, anyways. Vanilla Sky, Kingsman: The Golden Circle, What Women Want, A Goofy Movie. A Goofy Movie is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Hopefully that is not bothering you guys. You know, my dog will just bark at things that just kind of freak him out. He's always a paranoid little guy. Live by Night, the Ben Affleck movie. Tommy Boy, The Santa Claus 2, The Polar Express, Dark Phoenix. I know I like Dark Phoenix. Sorry, guys. Yes Man, The Mighty Ducks, Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks. Tron Legacy, I can understand why people don't like that movie, but I think the spectacle of it just is so much fun. Can't Hardly Wait, No Escape, Cowboys and Aliens, Let's Be Cops, The Fast and the Furious, American Reunion, and Bedazzled. These are all movies that I really do enjoy, but they have Rotten Tomatoes scores. Films I do not like with high Rotten Tomatoes scores. Captain Marvel, Aquaman, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ghostbusters, this is the 2016 version, Hail Caesar, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Leaving Las Vegas, the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water, Terminator Dark Fate, Terminator Rise of the Machines, Mary Poppins Returns, The Shape of Water, The Post, Blade Runner 2049, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story, The Revenant, man oh man, Bridge of Spies, Moana, Blade Runner, and High Fidelity. Those are all movies that I wasn't the biggest fan of. And again, I might have to watch them again. But, oh man. I don't know what the heck he's doing out there. But anyways. So that's my list of films that I like that apparently no one else does, according to Rotten Tomatoes. And then films that I don't like, or weren't necessarily the biggest fans of, that get tons and tons of high praise. Not too sure what you mean by okay there, that one guy. But in terms of Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, it's a shame that the sequels were never able to relive the magic of the first one, or even get to the same level. But, see, now I can hear my sister trying to get him in. But, again, it just always reminds me of why I love movies. You know, like Jack Sparrow is just bleeding with charisma. Will Turner, and so well executed. The music, the action, the adventure, the story. It's so solid. And it's my favorite movie of all time because it gives me that movie magic. Right? And that movie magic is something that's really intangible, that you can't really explain, but you feel it. Right? You kind of just feel your heart expand. Like, I'm sure you guys know that feeling, right? When you're watching a movie and you just know that you love it and your heart swells and you're not aware that you're sitting in a movie theater with 300 other strangers, or you're not aware that you're sitting, you know, on a chair with a watch along, or you're not aware of anything else going on. You're just completely sucked into the movie, right? It is able just to completely capture your consciousness and awareness, and nothing else is going on around you because you're in Port Royal in the 18th century, going on a swashbuckling adventure with Jack Sparrow, Elizabeth Swann, and Will Turner against the evil Captain Barbosa, and discover the mystery of the curse of the Black Pearl. It's amazing, right? Your opinion about the Blade Runners? Visually stunning, but incredibly boring. But I haven't seen them since they came out. So again, if I watch them again, who knows? But I know that when I saw it in the theater, I was like, I'm a little bored by this. It looks amazing, but it's like I was kind of bored during them. So again, like I have to preface, I haven't seen them in a while, and the last time I saw them were before I even had a YouTube channel. So yeah, even the original. I found the original boring, and I found Blade Runner 2049 boring. But I didn't go in with BrandoCritic eyes. Can you hear that? Father's getting mad at him. But either way. What about the music of Blade Runners? Honestly, dude, I haven't seen them since, I haven't seen Blade Runner 2049 since it came out, so I don't really remember the music. I'm sure they're good. Like, I like the original Blade Runner theme. When you look up, the Blade Runner theme on Spotify, you have Harrison Ford, enhance. Enhance. You know what I mean? So that stuff was cool. But before I go, I just want you guys to give me a quick little excerpt about what you guys thought of Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Because, it is my favorite movie of all time. And I know some of you guys might think that Dead Man's Chest are better. This might be your first time seeing it. You guys might think that it's, Pirates of the Caribbean, it's based on a Disney ride, that's so stupid. And that's another thing, too. When this movie was coming out, no one thought it was going to be good. We have Jerry Bruckheimer, right? The Michael Bay dude, creating a movie based on a Disney ride with an unknown actress, with Legolas, and with Johnny Depp in Guyliner, based on a Disney ride. Country Bears, before that, just completely bombed. And then this movie comes out, and it's a huge, huge hit for Disney. And I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram, but I was actually able to attend the red carpet premiere of Pirates of the Caribbean 4 on Stranger Tides. So I got to see everyone come down the red carpet. Johnny Depp, Penelope Cruz, Jeffrey Rush, everybody. And it was quite incredible. Like, one of my friends, we were there on a band trip, and that was happening. And my friend was there, and he yells out in Spanish, and Penelope Cruz looks at him and walks over and talks with him. I think that Penelope Cruz, especially in Vanilla Sky, oh my god, one of the most beautiful women ever. Like, I've met some people in real life, like who's the guy from Office Space? The main guy from Office Space, I forget his name, but I met him on Grouse Mountain, and I've met Tia Carrere from Wayne's World, and I met Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't normally go to cons and like wait in line to see celebrities, but seeing Penelope Cruz and like her going over to one of my friends and talking to him in Spanish, mind blowing. So anyways, best of the series for sure. It's my favorite Pirates movie. Now, at first, it was Dead Man's Chest. Gotcha. No, Office Space. Not The Office. Ron Livingston. That's who it is. Yeah, I saw him. So anyways, guys, I'm going to give you guys 5 more minutes. I'm going to wait until 8:40. And then I guess, it's going to be pretty late for you guys on the East Coast. But I'll give you guys until 8:40. To answer any more questions or have any comments and concerns. But, like, watching this movie, of course, reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Disneyland, which I think is just pure magic. I mean, I'm a big Disney guy, of course, with this shirt. And I'm a big fan of the Disney parks. Big fan of the Disney parks. I performed there, when I played in jazz and I played in concert band. And, of course, I go all the time. I've been to maybe Disneyland maybe 7 or 8 times. It was pretty incredible. Because the castle in Disney Paris looks extremely different from anything else. I remember this was one of the movies that I would watch on repeat as a kid, right alongside Spider-Man 2002 and Sorcerer's Stone. You know what? It's funny. Those are all movies that it's not late anymore. It's early. It's actually May already, almost summer. Yeah, man, I just hope that, when summer comes, I can actually travel again, because I still have my Disney tickets and they're postponed because my flight vouchers, you have to fly from Vancouver to LA from here and going straight away. But thanks, Heidi. I appreciate that you think I have an interesting life. Also, I don't know if I'm freezing. I'm taking a look at my interesting life. And then again, that's another thing that I'm starting to learn during this quarantine time is then that's when you can really see pure growth, because there will always be someone who travels more than you. There's going to be someone who has more subscribers. There's going to be someone who is better looking, has the better house, has the better car, So if you keep comparing yourself to other people, you're constantly going to be miserable. And who does that help? No one. It only makes you suffer, because that voice in your head will just go crazy, right? I hope things start to go back up to normal this summer. My state just extended the stay-at-home order until May 31st. Yeah, it's and I don't want to get too political here, but I'm just so thankful that I live in Canada during this time. That's all I'm going to say about that. But also, Pirates of the Caribbean was one of the earliest movie to have a post-credit scene in movies. Earlier movies are Ferris Bueller and Chamber of Secrets, but Iron Man was the big one. I think Iron Man kind of perfected the formula for the after-credit scene, right? And it's funny, like, ever since MCU, people will just wait until after a movie. And now, no matter what movie it is, people will wait until after the credits. Like, I think it was The Post. Like, we had a bunch of people say, we got to wait until after the credits, because there might be an after-credit scene. It's like, teach their own, man. I like the way your mind works, Brandon. Well, thank you very much. I think that's why I always like to... The reason why I love movies is because they... and I think the reason why people love movies all around the globe is that they speak to the human experience. Like, why do you see an action movie? Because you want to feel exhilarated. Why do you want to watch a documentary? Because you want to learn something. You want your mind to expand, right? So they're all about human experiences. And when a movie fails to give you a human experience and you just feel empty inside, you're like, well, what was the point of that? That was a boring movie. So, I'm starting to, gravitate towards movies that, one, either just uplift you with pure positive emotion and just make you feel better about yourself, but also movies that really make you think. Like, I watched Full Metal Jacket for the first time, and There Will Be Blood for the first time. And I gave both those movies a 5 out of 5 because, one, I think that they're masterfully done, but you can't stop thinking about them for days. And you really start to think about your own human psyche and whether or not it's sane or not, right? Because you built it. Depending on, no matter what happened to you in your life, you're the one who built your psyche, right? And, during this quarantine time, like watching all these movies and reading more about spirituality and trying to go deeper, and I'm meditating every day, which is something I would never do. It's not only has it helped my life out and, removing the inner thorns from my past, but it has also given me a new appreciation for movies. And I think that's why people kind of gravitate towards movies in the first place. So, there will always be millions of people better than me, but I don't care. It's my life. It's cool. Respect your life. Fuck the haters. I mean, simply put, and I'm going to give you guys some advice, and I know it's over 8:40, but it's dark and it's glim. That's not a word. Grim. That's what I meant to say. But you're born and then you die. Who knows what happens afterwards? I think there's something afterwards. But you're on a planet in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Once you start to realize, and I've learned this, and ever since I've learned this, my life has immediately been so much easier. And watching movies always kind of reminds me of this, is that all you are is awareness and consciousness. That's all you are. So if someone comes up to me and says, hey, who are you? And I say, Brandon. And then you can go, okay, Brandon. So you're just a bunch of letters? Well, no, I'm not a bunch of letters. Okay, so you're not Brandon. Okay, gotcha. And you start to, dig deeper and dig deeper and dig deeper. Gavin, come on, you're killing me, dude. Like, holy shit, man. Thank you so much. Like, thanks, buddy. Like, dude, thank you. But once you realize that, then you realize that you're in consciousness and okay, I'm sitting in my chair. I got a microphone right here. I got 2 computer screens. I got a camera. I got people watching me. That's reality. I look at Keira Knightley and I go, oh, she reminds me of my ex-girlfriend. Your thoughts did. Your mind has now caged in your entire experience and your entire awareness. Once you realize that, you can kind of realize that, think of yourself like Tony Stark, seeing your life like an Iron Man 3D hologram. And then you can start to remove the thorns, right? All your past experiences, they don't define who you are, right? They just pass through you, but you didn't let them do that. Oh, I'm shy now. Well, a disturbing experience happened to you, but it happened. It doesn't define who you are. You are not your thoughts. You experience your thoughts. You see your mind working. You're not your emotions. You experience your emotions. And you're not your body. You experience the 5 senses through your body. Once you realize that, I think you'll be a lot happier. Worked for me. But anyways, yeah, this has become one of my favorite YouTube channels. Your video style is so personal, and it's definitely helped through this quarantine. Look forward to future content. Dude, thank you so much, man. Seriously. Good vibes. Sending your way. Thanks, man. Right on. Like someone before me said, your mind works. Keep the good thinking, man. What up, Brandon? It's Evan, just on a friend's YouTube account. Love this stream, brother. Love the movie. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Well, anyways, guys, I think that is it for me. Again, during this quarantine time, a lot of people have discovered this channel, and, I'm not done, right? Of course, I want this to go the distance. So if you guys have enjoyed this content, definitely keep coming back. I appreciate it more than you know. And of course, if you guys have friends that are film fans, then definitely tell them about it. And of course, let's get this channel growing, because if the channel grows, then more content will come your way. And of course, with more people, then I think the production value will definitely go up, which means better videos, and more things for you guys to watch. So thank you guys so much for watching my favorite movie of all time with me. Tune in on May 3rd for The Matrix watch along. It's funny, The Matrix is a movie that I saw once when I was a kid, and I never watched it until this year, when it was in January when I watched it. And I'm going to watch it again, just because I want to. So anyways, guys, stay safe out there. Don't let this quarantine get you down. If you need help, then my videos can hopefully help you. And if you guys want to reach out, definitely follow me on Instagram. And if you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, definitely hit like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Good vibes to everybody.